So before I get stuck in tomorrow, I am going to tidy up my garage. It's a big fat mess. Meanwhile, thunderstorm is approaching. Let's see if you can catch some of this. I do love a good thunderstorm. Well, that was close. Good morning. So the rain is gone, the sky is blue. Let's see what we have to do, boom boom. Today, my friends, we are removing the Crown Vic front end, we are removing the 9-inch rear end, and we're hopefully flipping that frame over and getting all the welding underneath done. So first of all, I'm going to move the engine round to the front of the body because I need the engine hoist and I need access to get in and out. Now, as you can see, I have these running board brackets sticking away out, so I can't just flip it over or bend them. So I'm thinking I'll probably use 2 tires there, 2 tires there, so that when I flip it up that way, these don't hit the ground. I'm going to have to do this all by myself, so it'll be a combination of lifting with the engine hoist and leaning by hand. We'll see how we do. It's metal. The only thing it's going to damage is my legs and arms. Here's the plan. 1, I'm going to remove this brake pipe. It's just going to get in the way. I need to remove that clip so that the flex pipe is free. Remind me, I need to put a tab on there if I forget. Then jack up the back, take the shocks off. That'll ease up the 4 bars, can get them off. Roll the back end out. Move up to the front. This actually comes off relatively easy, other than the awkwardness of the bolts, because for a start I'm going to chop off 1/2 inch at the top. There's no reason for it to stick away up in this application. So yeah, you take these nuts off and then unscrews from the bottom. Unfortunately the steering rack's kind of in the way, so I'll take that off temporarily just to get access to those bolts. When those bolts are out, that hinges up that way and then the whole thing just slides out. It's pretty good setup. But before I do that, obviously I need to put the drive shaft, the steering rack back in so that I can roll it out, otherwise the wheels will do a sort of windy day, but that's okay. It's a nice day, it keeps me cool, I can get on. So let's dismantle. just to show you all, if you didn't already know, how this subframe is held in place. These large bolts go up through the bottom of the cross member, through the frame, and they thread through the top. Now, the reason they thread through the top and they don't go in from the top is, you imagine the amount of space you would need at the top to get these out under normal operation. Much easier to drop them out through the bottom. That's why they thread there, and the top nut is really just a lock nut. So I just need to finish removing the other one, then we can slide the whole thing out. As you can see, the frame is really just resting on the cross member, and obviously this hinge would normally go down and lock it in place. Pretty good design. So let me finish getting this out and we'll be ready to flip. Just like that. So the frame's not as heavy as I thought it was going to be, so I may just be able to do it by hand without using the engine hoist. You know what I mean? It's not actually that bad. So if I can lift it with one hand, then two hands will be twice as good. So the plan is to, obviously if I flip it over like that, it's going to end up in the grass. So I need to kind of shiggle it this way and then flip it over. Let's see how I get on. The heaviest part is definitely the front, obviously, because it's got the new steel. Although it doesn't look new, look at the state of it. Right, I'll be but a jiffy flipping this, hopefully. We are flipped. Had to enlist the help of my son. It's just a bit awkward. Remember, the hardest part was lifting it high enough that it didn't put any weight on the running board brackets. So we've successfully flipped it over. So next I need to clean it all down, wire brush it, and then start marking all the little welds that I've missed. And there's some ugly welds there and there that I need to repair. Lots to do. Coffee time? Yeah, coffee time. I have to say, that is my least favourite job of all jobs. Grinding, wire brush, and my grinder is kind of offset, so it's vibrating, so my hands are just buzzing now. Okay, let me show you where we're at. Now obviously I'm not going for perfection, thankfully. I just want the surface rust off. If I wanted perfect, I would send this away to get sandblasted. Right, what I've done with it, I've marked little white lines everywhere that I need to weld. So for example, in there, that seam there, the underside of the motor mounts, that whole mess there, I'm going to have to redo that weld. It's a right mess. Fill the gaps. I'm not just going to fill it with weld, I need to make little tiny plates to go in there and weld it all nice. The underside of those plates that I did the other day, everything's basically duplicated on the other side. Reinforce this whole area. So obviously I still need to weld this, but I'll probably add another bracket from here up to here. I don't think that steel I've added there is not quite thick enough, it's not nearly as thick as that. So with my new 3/16, I'll add another, maybe do a sort of curved bit like I've got down there to match that. Reinforce that bracket there. Reinforce my cradle where I didn't, my fuel tank cradle where I didn't get to weld underneath. And a bit more welding on this cross beam that I added. It's not welded in there yet. And a few more tacks along the bottom of the cradle that side. So as I say, everything's duplicated on the other side, so a lot of welding to do. I'll need to take breaks or my poor little MIG will just explode. I want this done. I've got a horrible feeling it's going to rain. And I need all this done and painted before the rain comes, or it's been a complete waste of time doing all that grinding. Okay, before I start the welding, there is something I want to go over with you guys. A couple of people were worried that I was uploading too much. Now, I'm not uploading for fame and glory. I'm actually uploading pretty much every day because my method of building this car relies on input from you guys. So, you know, if I did everything in a week and then at the end of the week I made a video and uploaded it, then it's too late to fix stuff. If I do it day by day, then you guys who know more than me can say, whoa, don't do that, Dave, do it this way, which is what you've been doing and helping me to build a better, safer car. Okay, that's my main purpose for uploading every day, or at least I stop at a point where I need input from you. So you're helping me more than I'm entertaining. That's the wrong way around, but hey, free tuition from you guys. So let's go on with the welding. Well, that was a lot of welding. Let me show you the results. Okay, so varying degrees of goodness. That one's not bad. Yeah, those ones in there are quite nice. This one is obviously I had to turn up the wattage, the amperage, whatever, and get a big thick weld in there. I'm not even going to bother. Sorry, you're not even seeing that. I'm not even going to bother grinding that down. So the bottom of these brackets is all done. All the sides there. Again, not the prettiest. I kind of went over that a few times. That top bit's quite nice, which is important because that's a bit the tester is going to see, you know. I actually had to cut these at an angle because on the other side I forgot I had drilled the holes for my pipes, so I had to just do a wee bit of an angle there, and I did it on both sides for symmetry. These little welds come out quite nice. And up to the back for all my supporting brackets, and you can see how much thicker that is. That's much better. So that's going to support the forward thrust of the engine. You know what I mean, the forward motion. Nice little weld in there. All inside there's done. All inside there's done. Same over there. Another support bracket on top of that. Both sides. And all the little underside welds I had to do in the cradle, and those little welds also. So I think I'm done with the welding. Any more than that is just overkill. So I shall slap some paint on and call it a day. Let's try and do it when the wind's not blowing a gale. My frame is done. Just needs a bit of paint on the top side, and then I can start the reassembly. Doesn't look too bad. I might add some of that stone guard from the underside once it's all together. Shouldn't really need it. I'm not going to be driving it in. Actually, I might be driving it in winter, who knows. Well, I think that looks perfectly fine. Another day, another step forward. Hopefully I won't have 2 steps back this time. I think we're good. I think we're good. Right. Thanks for dropping by. Please subscribe, hit the little bell, and see you tomorrow. Bye bye.